Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Focus, your guide to the latest news in the world of culture. I'm Zheludeva.
And I'm Ilana Mirilashvili. Just ahead of us today, Mercedes-Benz sponsored Fashion Week in Moscow shifts the focus onto young designers.
Kanye West's newly released album Jesus is King comes into focus of music fans.
The assassination of US President John Kennedy was the main focus of attention on the 22nd of November in 1963. Let's begin with the top story about fashion. Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week was held in the capital of Russia in the second decade of October. It attracted a huge number of designers, models and fashion lovers from all over the world. They gathered at the Central Exhibition Hall Montage to watch the 3 shows by the winners of the Global Talents Initiative from Switzerland, Argentina and Germany, accompanied by grand shows from well-loved local brands such as Slava Zaitsev.
Visitors poured into the majestic hall of the Montage building on the Red Square to feast their eyes on the fashion extravaganza taking place on the runways. Among them were the students of the Faculty of Journalism of Moscow State University, who had only to cross the road to find themselves in the heart of this remarkable fashion event. The majority went there not only as spectators but also as journalists, just like our fashion expert Andrew Androsov. Good morning, Andrew. Thank you for coming here today. So tell us, what are your impressions?
Hi everyone, as usual it was brilliant. This year Moscow invited a record number of new talents with fresh ideas, so I had an opportunity to see not only the Russian legends of fashion industry, but also some young designers from other countries such as France, Italy and even Lebanon. And this made the Fashion Week really unique.
Right. How young are these designers?
Oh, they're really young, from 18 to 20 years old, I guess. The idea was to help them gain popularity among the public, and this goal was reached. I was especially impressed by the show of Chinese designer Lev Xie, who outlined some current trends for our late autumn and winter.
How interesting. So what are these trends? We are dying to know more.
Well, the dominating trend this year is an abundance of vivid colors. They are to be extremely bright and fresh. They are to grab all attention of people passing by. For example, have a look at this wonderful coat. We can count 10 colors on it. Of course, some fans of traditional style may find it terrifying, but I'm absolutely convinced that this is what can make our boring winter positive.
Great, but don't you find those colors really nuclear?
Yeah, they are nuclear, but this nuclear explosion of colors is definitely what can make us happy and positive in these long and gloomy winter days.
Yeah. Is this reflected in the pieces of clothing?
Yeah, obviously, and this refers not only to colors but also shapes and texture. For example, Lev Xie suggests us wearing very fashionable hats. As we can see, they are not just colorful but rather original in terms of design and style. I find them extremely attractive.
Indeed, they are lovely.
I wish we knew where to buy them.
Don't you worry, I promise you will be the first to know about that.
Oh,
Thanks a lot, Andrew, for your contribution. We do appreciate it. And back to our newsfeed. It looks like we're having more and more talents from Asia. One of the current exhibitions in Moscow is dedicated to an outstanding American-Japanese artist, singer, songwriter and peace activist Yoko Ono, the wife of legendary John Lennon.
More on this in the report of our correspondent Korotkova.
The Moscow Museum of Modern Art presents the major project Yoko Ono in Russia. The sky is always clear. It is the name of the exhibition, which takes place on Petrovka Street from 15th of October till 24th of November. The artist has collected the most significant works and formed the unusual retrospective show. Yoko Ono is one of the most important figures of conceptual art in 1960s. She is the developer of such genres as performance, happening and video art. The artist's viewer is participant of art object creation. The Yoko Ono's main question is what is art? She uses the motifs of Eastern philosophy and Zen Buddhism. Yoko Ono doesn't like to reflect the reality in her works. In opposite, she experiments with viewers' perception. That's why the biggest part of the exhibition is her famous work, Instructions. Firstly, she made the text card and then completed it with the object for interaction. For example, Yoko Ono can ask the viewer to butter a nail. That's why we should take a nail. We should take a butter and work a little bit. Visitors are offered to write notes about their mothers, to finish the painting, to stamp a road map, or to get into a bag. Yoko Ono fills these actions with inner meaning and tries to reflect the thoughts in science. And how about the opportunity to play chess where all the fields and all the figures are white? It is the work Play on Trust, which opens the place for experiment and asks us the vital questions of people relationships. For playing as long as you can remember where all your pieces are. Sounds like motto, doesn't it? One of the latest Yoko Ono's projects is dedicated to the problem of domestic violence. Its contents is the set of victim stories written in the first person, completed with the photos of their eyes. Yoko Ono's performance is a collective process, where silence becomes action, where rules and restrictions don't exist, where the sky is always clear. Elizaveta Korotkova, Victoria Kuznetsova, The Focus.
Ilana, have you heard Kanye West's latest album, Jesus is King?
No, I haven't. Actually, I didn't even know he released a new album.
So I guess it's time to talk to our music expert, Ivan Kuznetsov, who will introduce the latest news in music and showbiz.
Lately, the industry has been burning with fresh releases, news and celebrity stories. Could you please update us on all that, Ivan?
Hello and over to the loudest news in music and show business. Taylor Swift, Kylie Jenner and Kanye West dominate in the world's highest paid celebrities ranking. Taylor Swift has become the highest paid woman in music for the second time in her career, according to Forbes. She has pulled in $185 million in pre-tax income over the past 12 months. A big part of it came from her Reputation Stadium tour, which grossed a US record $266 million. The singer also cashed in on a 9-figure deal with Universal's Republic Records. What an absolutely smashing chapter in Taylor's career. Kylie Jenner, whose company Kylie Cosmetics managed to clock $170 million last year, has become the second highest paid celebrity. And Kanye West closed the top 3, earning $150 million. Speaking of Kanye, his new album called Jesus is King was released on October 21st. In his interview on Beats One, West revealed that another album called Jesus is Born will be coming out on Christmas. Kanye stressed that he's no longer a slave to the music industry and he's finally at peace with himself, ready to create but not entertain. I'm undoubtedly the greatest human artist of all time, he confidently stated. On the 17th of November, West performed 2 shows in front of 200 selected prisoners at Harris County Jail in Texas. What a year for all Kanye fans out there. November has also been a life-changing experience for many rock and roll fans. The image of a world-famous Australian band In Excess, which tragically lost its frontman Michael Hutchence in 1997, is now being thoughtfully revived. Their biggest concert at Wembley in 1991 was painstakingly restored and then presented in cinemas all over Australia on November 14th, unveiling a lost performance. In December, the concert will be screened worldwide. So hurry up to get a ticket. Moscow State University Faculty of Journalism is renowned for having some talented musicians and artists among its students too. Here's an interview with Ragda Khaniva, an upcoming singer and songwriter and the current contestant of The Voice Russia.
My major career plan currently is participation in the voice contest, where I have already reached as far as third stage. And obviously, I'm preparing for the upcoming exams because apart from music, I also have other priorities, such as academic. I hope that I will manage to successfully combine these aspects of my life. However, I do believe that I'm managing to balance it all quite well, because I'm always trying to carry books with me, and while preparing for the performance in the dressing room, I'm always learning the given academic material to successfully pass the exams. I decided to study journalism in the Moscow State University to learn freedom and fluency of expression and gain confidence in public speaking. To be honest, I'm afraid of expressing my own opinion in public because I'm always worried about what other people may think. At the same time, I also do spend quite a lot of time recording songs in the studio and writing my own songs. My debut album is about to be released soon, and I'm happy that I'll be performing self-written songs. Regardless of the fact that I'm not studying music in the university, I still believe that I should follow my dream, and if you dare, you also should.
Also, if you're planning on becoming a world-famous artist, you might seriously consider attending a musical audition that will be held by the Moscow State University Faculty of Journalism on November 23rd at 6 p.m. in Auditorium 232. At this stage, you'll have to introduce yourself and perform any musical piece you like. The whole performance should take you no longer than 13 minutes, and if you're lucky to get through stage 1, the second part of the audition will be held on November 13th at 2 p.m. in the same auditorium. It will include a special musical task, so get ready, and everyone craving a musical challenge is welcome. That's all news in the field of music for now. Stay tuned, and back to you, ladies.
And now let's have a little break from newsfeed and check the weather in Moscow.
Daria Kanygina, our weather person with the most accurate weather forecast.
Thank you, Lana and Lisa. It's been a beautiful day today, hasn't it? Here is the weather update for the 22nd of November. Now it is -9 degrees outside, and we do have a winter weather advisory that will be in effect at 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. We have light and variable winds about 10 miles per hour, which will bring snow and low temperatures. So put on your warm clothes and beware of slidery roads. This weather might be persistent until next weekend. However, it doesn't mean you should stay indoors, especially now, when there are a lot of cultural events held in Moscow. For example, you can visit the Museum of Contemporary Art Garage, where on display is a new exhibition called The Common Vault, with the old and new paintings by over 50 Russian and international artists. The exhibition is so huge that it occupies the whole building. So hurry up to visit it today, and the 22nd of November will be long remembered by you and your closest ones.
Thank you, Daria, for sharing the weather forecast with us. And now some stunning news from the world of perfumery. Book lovers, rejoice! The French fashion brand Maison Martin Margiela has released a new perfume, Whispers in the Library, which has the aroma of the worn pages and wooden shelves. Wearing this perfume will transfer you to the cozy world of books, contemplation and dreams. To buy this magic bottle, you won't need a library card. All you need is 10,000 rubles, and it will be enough.
Lisa, is November 22nd any special for you?
Of course, it marks the release of our first ever newscast.
I'm sure it will be long remembered. Let's now see what other world events happened on this remarkable date.
More about the 22nd of November from our history expert Sergey Sokolov.
Good day, Ilana and Lisa. As we all know, there is practically no day when something special has not happened, and the 22nd of November is not an exception. For example, it was on this day, in 1946, that the first ballpoint pen in England was put on sale. How comfortable it is. On the 22nd of November, 1986, Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in history, with the second round knockout win over Trevor Berbick. In 2005, Angela Merkel became the first woman chancellor of Germany. Among those events, there happened one
It is righteously called one of the most tragic in the history of the United States of America. On the 22nd of November, 1963, the US President John Kennedy was shot dead while making a campaign trip in an open limousine in Dallas, Texas. John Kennedy is recognized to be the most popular and charismatic political leader in modern history. His sudden and unexpected death was mourned by the whole nation. Famous TV anchor Walter Cronkite, who announced the death of John Kennedy, had tears in his eyes. It was for the first time in history that an anchor expressed his emotions on air. The official circumstances of this tragic death are still controversial. The lone killer was a former Marine Lee Harvey Oswald, whose personality remains unclear even today. He is reported to have spent some time in the USSR and spoken to a KGB officer 2 months before the assassination. Oswald himself was shot at a police station by Dallas resident Jack Ruby 2 days after the death of John Kennedy. As we can see, there are dark spots in this story, but we still hope that one day all the circumstances of this tragic death will be revealed. And that is all from on this day. Thank you for watching and see you tomorrow. Ladies, back to you.
Thank you, Sergey, for your historical perspective. And moving on, today we have got some breathtaking sports news for you, haven't we, Ilana?
Yeah, sure we do. Starting off with the latest updates in the figure skating Grand Prix, which was recently held in Moscow. Russian skaters performed outstandingly well, taking all the gold in the last competition. Russia topped all 4 disciplines: men's, women's, pairs, short programs, and the rhyme dance. The last time one nation swept all gold in all the disciplines was also Russia at this competition, but 14 years ago, in 2005. This year, Russians cleared men's singles competition. It all started with Alexander Samarin hitting the highest score compared to other male contestants. In the women's singles, Alexandra Trusova was out to maintain a winning run. Can you imagine? She was skating to the music from the Game of Thrones. That should have been truly epic. She won the ladies' singles gold. She also set a new free skate and combined total record, even though during her performance she fell 2 times. Overall, the victory confirms Trusova's spot in the Grand Prix final. Another Russian skater, Evgenia Medvedeva, took silver. Even though she will not take part in the final, Medvedeva took a chance to express gratitude to the fans and organizers.
Next in line is a piece about 2 yet unbeaten fighters, Khabib Nurmagomedov and Floyd Mayweather. Khabib Nurmagomedov is a leading Russian professional mixed martial artist with a net worth of over $2 million. Throughout his career, he has not experienced a single defeat, consolidating a personal winning score of 27-0. It has been reported that Nurmagomedov, in continuation of his brilliant career path, decided to challenge another fighting titan, Floyd Mayweather, who can be proud of even a more unbelievable winning score: 50 wins against 0 losses. Mayweather has not lost a single professional bout, which helped him earn a net worth estimated to $1 billion. Well, turns out our first champion, Khabib, is daring enough to call out even such a titan in the hope of luring him back in the ring for what would be the biggest payday of his career. And his message to the undefeated American boxer appeared on the Instagram page for all to see.
That's all the news we have at the moment.
Stay focused and have a fabulous day. Bye.